Hello, boys and girls, and welcome back to yet another bullshit podcast. I'm Jeremy. Dalton's here too, and we're going to entertain you for at least 2 hours. I think we can get 2 hours out of this. What do you think?
At least, Jeff.
Yeah. So, how's your week been?
It's been good, man. It's been good. I had a fantastic weekend. Megan came down, spent the weekend with me, and then work hasn't been too bad. Like I had an opening shift today, yeah. And when I left work, I was in a good mood, and that's not always the case these days during the holiday season. So I can't complain, man.
Nice.
Also, I am now into season 2 of Doctor Who, so I've moved on from Eccleston to David Tennant. And he's like everyone's favorite doctor. So, but it's weird to me so far, like having to adjust to the change of like the main character being the same character, but it's a different actor.
Yeah.
I liken it to, did you ever see the Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus?
Like once.
So the main premise of that movie ended up getting fucked up because Heath Ledger died during the making of it. So I think it was Colin Farrell, Johnny Depp, and Jude Law stepped up and helped finish the movie. And I don't think that they took any pay. I think they donated their pay to Heath Ledger's family or whatever. But anytime that Heath Ledger's character would go into the Imaginarium, he would become someone else because they didn't film any of that stuff before he died. Which just, honestly, it made the movie cool, even though it's kind of sad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it was very cool. And then what else did I watch this weekend? So Megan had never seen any of the Hostel movies. So we watched Hostel Part 2.
Fun stuff.
And I don't remember if we like finished it, like, because it was kind of just like we're watching it and I kind of like was laying there and I was like, so now you kind of get the gist of it, that Hostel's kind of just gore porn.
Yeah, more or less.
And she's like, yeah, it's not really a horror movie. And I'm like, nah, not really. I mean,
yeah, it's just gore.
It's kind of scary, but it's scary in the sense that...
Was it the first one or the second one where the guy was like in the bathroom stall with his hand on the floor and like the guys took the meat cleaver and like cut his hand like diagonally in half?
Oh, I don't remember. That might be the first one.
I think it was the first one. But like you said, they're not even really horror movies at all. It's just an excuse to be as absolutely gory and special effects as possible.
Yeah, and if any horror comes from it, it's the fact that like it's just human depravity and like something like that could happen.
Oh yeah.
Being sold into a quote unquote red room of sorts.
Yeah.
No, the second one, the scene that always stands out to me is the scene where the girl is dangling over the bathtub.
Oh yeah.
Like tied up and gagged, and the chick comes in and disrobes and she gets naked and lays underneath her and picks up a scythe and starts slashing the girl's back open and bathing in her blood.
Yeah.
Fucking hardcore.
Yeah.
And then, oh, dude, I have a rough time with seeing throats get slit in movies, and that's a hardcore throat slit in that scene. Oh, brutal. Throat
slits don't bother me. I don't like eye stuff, like stabbing out eyes and stuff. When it shows it, that's really weird to me. And then teeth or fingernails, like when they show in a movie like plucking somebody's fingernails off, something that fucking gets me. And then
yes, god damn.
Did you watch the first Human Centipede?
A long time ago.
None of that movie bothered me whatsoever, except the scene where it showed him like pulling, I think, one of the girl's teeth out. Ugh. And like watching him pull teeth, I was like, no. Like I put my hand in front of the screen. I was like, I can't watch that part. Everything else, I was cool with like sewing buttholes to mouths and stuff. Like none of that. Mm-mm. But like pulling teeth, just it got me.
The sewing the mouth thing. No.
I like that movie. That movie is cinematic brilliance, really. But it's a difficult watch if you are squeamish at all.
That's an understatement.
Yeah.
Like the Human Centipede 2 bothered me more, but we've talked about that before.
Yeah, that was just because the first one was, if I remember correctly, it was 100% medically accurate. So in theory, it could have actually happened exactly how it was shown on screen. And people gave the director so much shit that he was like, you know what? I'm going to give you something else in number 2. And yeah, so number 2 was a little more removed from reality for me. Like
number 2 was like somebody seeing the first movie and being like, oh, I could do that.
I could do that, yeah. But the part where he turns on the first movie in the office, takes his tiny little dick out, sticks a wire in it, and then wraps it in sandpaper and jerks off with the sandpaper while watching the Human Centipede. I was just like, man, like this dude he is not all there upstairs.
Bro, and there's a guy in my town that looks like that guy, that actor that played that character.
Oh my God, that dude is like, he's a perfect fit for like a creepy dude.
Yeah.
Like he was born for the role of creepy parking attendant.
Oh man. So let's get the downer news out of the way.
Well,
or no, first of all, how's your week?
Not too bad. Playing a lot of God of War Ragnarok, which is not enough people are talking about that game. That game is fucking phenomenal.
Oh, bro, you should watch PlayStation Access on YouTube because that's all they've been talking about. They fucking can't get enough of it.
But yeah, like that game is so fucking good. One of my favorite things in the game, and it happened in the first game too. So you played the older God of Wars, right?
Yeah.
I'm assuming they had it in the older ones where the enemies had a health bar and had a stun bar. But when you stun the enemies fully, you can like click R3 and do like a finishing move. My favorite one is where Kratos just like hits them and they go down on their knees and then he just takes the axe and hits them like right here and literally hits them like 3 times and splits their torso in half diagonally. So like separates their right arm and head from their body. And it's Jesus just Christ. The fucking coolest thing ever. Like, I love it. And those finishers are always random. It's like some characters have like one set finisher, but when you're fighting like humanoids, like Draugrs and stuff like that, it's like 3 or 4 different ones you can get. But I always fucking love when I get that one. And then there's one where he like gets them to their knees and just like takes the axe, fucking home run swing, decapitates them. That's cool as shit too.
Hell yeah.
There's that, and then he knocks them down and then hits them in the waist and splits their body in half with the axe. That's fucking cool too.
I have a question for you. Spoilers for anyone. So skip ahead 30 seconds if you don't want any spoilers. Do you ever get the Chaos Blades back? The ones that he had in the original games where they were attached to his arms with the chains?
You get those in the 2018 game.
Well, I haven't played it, so that's what I'm asking.
Yeah, you get those. And what's really cool about this game is you pick up where you left off in that game. So it's not like Arkham where like you beat Arkham Asylum, you're super powered up, you got all your gadgets and shit, and then you go into Arkham City and all of a sudden you're basic ass Batman again. And this one, like you have all your shit. You get new shit throughout this game, but you have all the stuff you had in the first game.
That's cool.
So yeah, I really like that because that's not something that they normally do.
I see a lot of people talk about the Leviathan axe, so I was just curious if the Chaos Blades were still a thing.
They're in there. The Leviathan axe is so fucking cool though, and I'm gonna say I forgot how big puzzles are in these games. Like these are action puzzlers. There's no other way to put it. I don't know if the old ones were. But the 2018 and then Ragnarok are puzzle games. Like there's so many fucking puzzles in these games.
I feel like that's I don't remember there being a ton of puzzles. I mean, there were some back in the day, but they were like platformer puzzles type.
Yeah, there are so many goddamn puzzles in it. But I mean, it's fun and it's not stupid difficult to figure out. Some of it can be, but like the main story stuff is not ridiculous to figure out. And if it takes you too long, your companion will like start giving you hints. Like, oh, I see something over here. Maybe we could hit it with the axe. Stuff like that. So,
that's helpful. I like that.
Yeah. And then like if I still can't figure it out, I just go fucking Google it.
It's not like the like 90s adventure games where you have to combine a screwdriver with a piece of gum in order to unlock the lock behind the painting that's in the wall of the car mechanic shop.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's not like that. I will say video games nowadays hold your hand so much more than they did back in the day. I remember playing Full Throttle and getting to the part with the dog in the junkyard and just giving up because I couldn't figure it out.
Oh yeah, I had a guide. I had a guide open on that part when we played through it for the show. Full Throttle's so good.
When I was a kid, I got to that part and just gave up because I couldn't figure out what the fuck I was supposed to do.
Yeah, I can imagine. Those games are so obtuse.
Oh yeah.
But fuck, Full Throttle's good.
Return to Monkey Island's on Game Pass now. So.
Ooh.
But speaking of, yesterday I picked up Doki Doki Literature Club Plus on PS5. And I was like, oh, when I finish God of War, I'll play that. Not anymore, because today I picked up Stray on PS5. So I'm going to play Stray, and then I'll play Doki Doki.
So can I be honest with you?
Yeah.
I'm not sure you're going to like Doki Doki. You might appreciate it for what it is, but I'm not sure that it'll be a game that you go back to.
It's probably not a game I'll play 100 hours of, for sure.
Oh, it wouldn't take you 100 hours, absolutely.
But I'm going to play it. But yeah, it was on Best GameStop has it on Black Friday deals for $17. So it's like $17. I'll spend that. Because if I don't like it, I'll put it in my store for $20 and sell it to somebody else.
Yeah.
So,
dude, so the original game that's free on Steam is like 5 hours or so. Yeah. So with Plus, I think it added like a couple hours of content. So you're not looking at a huge time investment.
Yeah. I may look at how difficult it is to platinum, and I may just try to platinum it, just depending on how much. Like if I beat it and I'm just like, I have no interest in this anymore, I won't. But if I have any interest left, I'll just pull a guide out and see if I can platinum it.
There are certain parts of that game that I am very curious how they're going to pull off on console.
Yeah.
I don't want to give it away.
They'll figure it out.
Well, I mean, obviously they did.
They put shit like Surviving Mars on console, and The Sims. They'll figure it out.
Well, after you play it, we'll have this discussion again.
Yeah. And
we'll talk about what I'm talking about, because I don't want to spoil it for you. And then I also don't want to spoil it for Nate and Willie if they happen to listen to this. So we'll have to give them a spoiler warning if we haven't gotten to that yet.
I feel like Nate listens to it. I think Willie does too. I don't know. I'm shocked anybody listens to this fucking dribble. What else? Got the new Pokemon game Friday night. Started playing that. We'll talk about that in depth later. But we did talk about before the show. Please remember, when you talk about the new Pokemon game, it is not designed and put out for 30-somethings. It's put out for children. So
it's a kid's game.
It's a kid's game. So yeah, just keep that in mind.
Yeah, please. For fuck's sake.
Like, my nephew is 6 and he wants it. He will love the shit out of that game.
Even with the glitches, he'll probably find them to be the funniest fucking thing you've ever seen.
I did see one funny ass glitch somebody posted earlier where like they went to get on the Pokemon you ride and their character got like 18 feet tall with super long arms and legs. Yeah. That shit was really funny.
I watched one that was Magikarp. And all of a sudden, Magikarp just like flopped out of the water and onto the shore, and then he flopped across a bridge, and then he just flopped up a mountain.
Oh yeah,
as the person was standing.
I did it. I did the picnic thing for the first time, and I had a Magikarp in my party. So basically, when you set up a picnic, you set up a picnic table, and you let all your Pokemon in your party out. So I had a Magikarp. So I'm on the side of a mountain with a picnic table, and there's fucking Magikarp just flopping around on the ground,
just dying.
Yes.
Magikarp.
I think it would have been a cool touch if they'd have done for like water Pokemon. When you let them out, there was like a little fish tank and they were just in there swimming around. I think that'd have been kind of cool.
Yeah,
but
that would be cool.
Like they do with Animal Crossing. Like when you put a fish in your house, you put it in a little tank. So I used to catch like sharks and shit and whales or whatever, big ass fish, and just put them in a tank in my bedroom and just leave them there.
Yeah.
Like, you're a decoration now, fucking tiger shark.
And you're just going to sit there swimming that one same spot. You can't even move.
Yep, can't move. I'm not going to feed you. I'm not going to change your water out. You're just going to be there.
Oh, man. So we mentioned Pokemon dying. Speaking of things dying, Jason David Frank died.
Yeah, that was a little bit of a shocker. Yeah, apparently he committed suicide, which...
Bummer.
I'm wondering if there was some kind of medical reason behind it. I haven't read a lot into it. Like maybe he got a bad diagnosis or something, but it could just be depression.
Could just be depression, man. Like, it fucking sucks. So for those that don't know, he was the Green Ranger / White Ranger in the original Power Ranger series.
Then he was a Red Ranger, a Black Ranger, somebody else later in the later series. I only ever watched the original series, so
I watched the original, and then I saw some movies from the later series, but I didn't get super into them. Although it's on my list of things to do whenever I have like a lot of time and just nothing to do.
Yeah.
I want to watch some Power Rangers seasons that I did not watch.
I always try to go back and watch the original seasons because that's my favorite. But goddamn, it's so cringy to try to watch now. Like, it's so bad.
It's, dude, and the way that you'll go from like obviously watching something that was recorded in the 90s in America to footage from Japan that looks like it's from the late 80s.
Yeah.
You know, and I think it was Super Sentai.
Yeah.
Tremendous. And then like I didn't notice as a kid the overdubs. So like when Rita Repulsa's talking and stuff, I never realized that she was being dubbed over.
Yeah.
And then going back and watching it now, I'm like, oh, holy shit. It doesn't even try to line up.
Yeah.
Tremendous.
I love like kaiju shit and all though. I'm really curious about Ultraman. I feel like I might get into Ultraman.
So Ultraman seems cool as fuck, and also I want to check it out because of the new Monster Rancher game that came out. That's Ultra Kaiju Monster Rancher. It's an Ultraman crossover. So you raise kaiju monsters.
Nice.
And I'm like, that sounds fucking sweet.
Yeah. There is supposedly, I saw a rumor that there may be a Gamora, the big turtle.
Yeah.
Gamera.
I think it's Gamora.
Be possibly a Gamora movie in the works. That'd be really cool.
That could be really cool. Giant
flesh out
turtle.
Flesh out the MonsterVerse a little more.
Yeah, dude. I mean, there's only so many Godzillas you can make before you need to start like diving into the other giant monsters and the kaiju. But yeah, man. So like, just on the topic of suicide, like if you're feeling some type of way, like that shit's just not the answer. So like, there are definitely places that I know BetterHelp is a place that does online therapy.
988 is the National Suicide Prevention Hotline.
Definitely don't take that final solution.
No,
let's not call it that. Let's not call it the final solution.
That is a permanent solution to a temporary problem.
Yes, thank you.
And we've all been there. You've been there before, correct?
Multiple
contemplations. Times. I've been there. I have friends who have been there. And try to find something to talk yourself out of it. I remember, like, when did Man of Steel come out? 2014, I think.
Is that the Henry Cavill?
Yeah. I think it was 2014. I remember, like, 2013 being like, I don't want to say being suicidal, but having those thoughts and being like, well, if I kill myself, I can't see the new Superman movie. Like, it sounds dumb, but if it's something simple as that keeps you alive.
Bro, I've literally said to people, like, don't worry about me. I'm not suicidal. There are far too many video games I haven't played yet that I want to play.
Yeah. I like, did you watch Afterlife on Netflix, the Ricky Gervais show?
No, but I heard very good reviews about it though.
It's amazing. You should watch it. You would like it. But like, his wife dies of cancer and he considered killing himself. And then he says it like, I'm kind of just going to live my life however I want, because if it doesn't work out for me, I can always kill myself. So he kind of like has suicide as a
backup plan.
A plan B. Yeah. So he's like, I'm just going to do what I want to do. And then if it doesn't work out, I'll just kill myself. Like, that's definitely not a healthy way to live your life, but don't make it plan A.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Don't make it a plan.
Yeah. Don't make it a plan. And like I said, if nothing else, reach out to Dalton or I. We'll talk you off the ledge.
Yeah. 120,000%.
We would rather hear your problems than hear your eulogy.
I do not go to funerals.
Yeah.
So
I'm not even going to go to my own funeral.
They bum me out far too much.
So yeah.
But yeah. So on to something that's
speaking of killing shit.
Yeah. What the fuck is going on with Twitter?
Elon Musk, like I put down as this topic, Elon Musk is murdering Twitter because he's a stupid rich idiot. He is. I remember when everyone in the country thought this dude was a fucking revolutionary and that he was going to take us into the next age of technology. And I don't know what the fuck happened. Like, he just fucking went off the rails. And yeah, the dude bought Twitter for what, $44 billion?
Something
Stock
ridiculous.
prices tanked the day he said he was going to buy it. Like, then he buys it and he turned off, what is it called? All the little behind the scenes shit. There's a term for it.
I know what you're talking about because it disabled the two-factor authentication.
It disabled two-factor authentication. Apparently, it disabled their copyright algorithm too. So people have literally been uploading entire movies to Twitter. So like, yeah, like the copyright strike system was part of that like background shit he said that Twitter didn't need anymore. Like, I don't think they have any advertisers left. Like almost every advertiser is pulled out.
You can pay to have your blue check mark now.
Yeah, you can pay to get a blue check mark. So you can create
a fake account.
You can create a fake Nintendo of America and post a picture of Mario giving the middle finger. And guess what? Your grandma looking at Twitter is going to see Nintendo of America with a blue check mark and see Mario flipping the bird and say, oh, I don't like that. I don't want my grandson to have Nintendo products anymore. They're not a wholesome company. Like, somebody made a fake. They made a fake Twitter page on Twitter with a blue check mark. And dude, the most fucked up part of it is Elon came out and was like, well, they're paying their $8 for their check and then we ban their accounts and we just get that $8 a month for free. And it's like, dude, they are fucking over your advertisers who are going to pull their advertisements and then you don't have anything coming in except that fucking $8 a month.
Yeah,
like,
Twitter is slowly becoming like 4chan.
Yeah.
It's just being overrun by trolls and being swarmed and devoured.
The way he is doing this shit, it almost makes me wonder if he shorted the stocks and he's trying to drive it down to nothing so that he can make a ton of money off of it. Like if he bought $1 billion worth of shares under a slush company, or what are they called? What the fuck is the name? Shell Corporation or whatever. If he used like a shell corporation, his shadow accounts or whatever, bought $1 billion worth of, or shorted $1 billion worth of Twitter stock and at $100 or whatever and waiting for it to get down to like $5 so he can pay it back and make almost $1 billion, you know, like that's the behavior he's showing. I don't know if that's true or not. I think he's just a fucking idiot. And like that saying, you're born on third base and think you hit a triple. Like he was born on third base. Parents had fucking blood diamond money and shit from Africa or emeralds or whatever the fuck they had. I know they had like blood gems money. And yeah, the dude was supposed to be the next revolutionary and he's a fucking idiot.
It's all been downhill since he hit that blunt on Joe Rogan. Yeah.
No, dude, what killed him, do you remember when he put a ton of money into Dogecoin? Yeah, was talking about Doge. Or I don't even think he put money, he tweeted about it. He just tweeted Dogecoin and that was it. And that coin went through the fucking stratosphere.
Yeah, I made like $200 off of it and sold it.
Yeah. And then he went on a Saturday Night Live and was like, Dogecoin's fucking stupid. By the way, I'm autistic. And Dogecoin fucking plummeted. And ever since then, he's just been spiraling out of control.
Bro, I had $500. I had put in $40. I had $500 of Dogecoin and went to sleep that Saturday.
Yep.
Woke up on Sunday and I had $200 and was like, oh shit, and just sold it.
Yeah.
And then it just continued to plummet. So I was glad because people are like, hold, diamond hands, hold. And I'm like, nah, I'm getting out while I still have money. And yeah, luckily I did.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, the shit on Twitter, like the people who made the verified account of the company that owns the insulin patent, and they just tweeted out like insulin's now going to be free, and then the company had to go on Twitter and be like, actually no, it's not going to be free. That one was funny. There's been some funny shit, but it's also like watching a media empire just crumble in front of your eyes.
Yep. Which, will the world be a better place without Twitter? Probably. I think without social media, the world would be so much better.
Yeah.
I think social media on its face is not a bad thing. It's what social media has become that makes it so fucking bad. Like, it's become playground for the wealthy. It's become spyware, more or less, because everything you talk about, they sell that information to companies for the companies to advertise shit to you. Like, Facebook did that fucking experiment where they picked random people and like only showed them negative posts and stuff to see if it would alter their mental state. Like, how many people killed themselves over shit like that?
I mean, that shit goes on everywhere. They're not just social media.
Oh, yeah. But I'm saying social media is like communism. It looks really good on paper, but it's all about who's in charge. Anything can be corrupted.
Anything. Even babies.
Even babies. Especially babies.
Especially babies. So, sir, what is this career dilemma that you speak of in the notes?
So, I got a call today that there's a job available at my previous employer that they're having trouble filling. I would possibly be a shoo-in candidate for it. Pay is really good. Health insurance, vacation time, 401k, all of that shit. But it would mean that at most I'd be able to run my store on weekends, and that's it. And that would literally put me working 7 days a week. So
I'll come run your store for you.
Yeah, I can't afford to pay anybody to do that.
Damn it.
But like, I don't know. It's I put in my resume and application for it, and if they call me in for an interview, I'll sit down and hear them out. And I don't know if it's something I want to do or not, but it's something I have to kind of mull over a little bit, I guess. Yeah,
for sure. I mean, in a way it would be a bummer, but also like if it's going to improve your life situation by giving you more cash income and stuff, then fucking go for it, man.
More money and slightly more freedom, because like if I didn't have the store at all, it would be Monday through Friday and then one weekend a month. So, and the weekends are like, I think the guys would come in like 6 to 10 in the morning or something like that. It's like you still have the full day, but you do have to get up at the ass crack of dawn. Yeah, dude. I went in at 6:45 this morning. I can relate to getting up and going in early and just like, this is fucking for the birds. Dude, yeah. If I take that job, the fucking Yaps Pod recording times would have to change, because I wouldn't be able to stay up till 1 or 2 in the morning recording. We had to do that shit earlier.
We could figure it out.
Or Saturday night, one of the two.
We could figure it out so you could go out in a boot.
Yeah, we'll figure something out. So, yeah.
Speaking of being oot and a boot, what's your song of the week, bud?
So, my song of the week is by NF, called Just Like You. And it goes kind of along with what we were talking about with suicide prevention and all. Because it's a song basically saying like, if you feel this way, I'm going to see if I can find the lyrics. So, yeah,
NF stands for Notorious Fergie, by the way.
Okay. It says, just in case my car goes off the highway or the plane that I get on decides that it's my last day, I want you to know when you're alone and you feel afraid, you're not the only person in the world that isn't okay. There's millions of us just like you. So it's basically saying like, you know, when you're down and out, you're feeling your worst, just know that you're not the only person that feels that way.
Yeah.
So, good song. Definitely worth listening to. Well, what about you?
So my song is another vein of music. It's by Korpiklani, and it's called Vodka. And
it's the Russian national anthem.
They're actually, so here, I'll pull it up. I believe they are a Finnish band. I'm gonna read you some of the lyrics for this song. So, the chorus of the verse. So, before everything I say, just imagine the band behind me is going vodka. Okay. So it's like, vodka. And he goes, you're feeling stronger. No more feeling bad. Your eyes are shining. You're the real man. Wipe away your tears. Removes all your fears. Everyone is gorgeous. Yeah, vodka. And the chorus is like, drinking is good for you. Soon you will be unconstrained. Drinking is good for you. Here comes the womanizer. Drinking is good for you. It's just a party song, but it's really fucking catchy. And it's just these, in the music video, it's just these Finnish dudes in a green screened like fantasy European forest just singing about how much they love vodka. It's fantastic, bro.
Nice.
Korpiklani, dude, they're great. They have a song called Jägermeister too. Like they're all about having a good time from what I can tell. So yeah, Korpiklani, vodka is my song of the week. Which leads us to our questions from our wonderful, wonderful listeners.
You need to clip Nate singing the Blues Clues male song and just start inserting it at this part of our show. Every week it's just Nate singing the Blues Clues male song.
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah, I think it'd be fun, and Nate would hate it. So,
so this one comes in from Ostara. So, if you could, would you kiss your celebrity crush?
I would do so much more than kiss my celebrity crush.
So tell us what you would do to Roman Reigns.
Oh, he would get it so hard. No, I have an idea for this actually to expand upon this question. Female celebrity crush right now, probably Kat Dennings. Like I fucking love Kat Dennings.
Chick from Two Broke Girls.
Yep.
Yeah, super cute.
Super cute. Gigantic boobies. I would put my face in those and go. I would caress her butt gently. I would give her a foot massage. Like I would do whatever she asked me to do. If she was like, "Come over to my house and wash my dirty underwear," I'd be like, "Okay." I would.
Now, I have a question for you.
Yes.
What if you ripped one and she went, "Oh, gross, that's disgusting"?
I wouldn't care.
I knew I'd find it one day. I knew that I would find one girl at least that you're like, no, yeah, I would absolutely not fart around her if she didn't want me to.
No, I'd still fart around her. I just wouldn't care that she didn't think it was funny.
Okay, that's fair.
I ain't changing who I am.
Kat Dennings.
What about your female crush? What would you do to her?
Would I kiss my celebrity crush? I'm gonna think who my celebrity crush is.
That's my problem because it kind of changes from time to time.
Well, so I have one that jumps out to me, but like I don't know if she's considered a celebrity. She's on a big YouTube channel.
Who?
Jane Douglas from Outside Xbox.
No, pick a celebrity, Dalton. Nobody watches Outside Xbox but you.
They have. Fuck you. They have so many fucking subscribers.
Yeah, but you're the only one who watches their videos. You just watch them 133,000
That's not true. That's not true.
No,
Nate likes them too.
Pick a celebrity more than you know.
I could go like Alyssa Guzlin from Arch Enemy. No,
pick like a movie star or somebody like that.
Don't tell me who to pick, motherfucker.
Somebody everybody knows. They're not a celebrity if nobody knows who they are.
That's not true.
You need to say a name.
Because you don't know who they are doesn't mean the listeners won't know who they are.
The listeners won't know who those people are because they don't listen to that music that you listen to.
That's not true. Kana will know every female that I mention if I mention female singers. Thank you very much.
Like I said, pick somebody that more than 3 people who listen to this show know. If there's more than 3 people still listening to this show.
Winona Ryder.
That's a good one. She has aged like fine wine too.
Yeah. Or
the kid that plays Mike on Stranger Things. That's your celebrity crush, isn't it?
I don't even know who that is.
You just can't get enough of the fucking haircut.
I haven't seen Stranger Things, so I don't know.
No. Yeah, Hillary Duff's a good call too. What would you do to one of them? Or both of them?
That's what the question asked. Would I kiss them?
What else would you do?
I'd probably eat ice cream off their butt or something. I don't know.
All right then. What about out of their butt?
I don't know about that. Well, it depends if they've had an enema recently.
What if Hillary Duff was like, I want you to get a cake icing bag, fill it with chocolate ice cream.
No.
Push it into my butthole, and then I want to fucking squat over top of you and soft serve on you.
Nope. Jesus fucking Christ. No, I'm good.
I would do that just for the fucking story. I don't even like chocolate ice cream, but I would do it just so I could tell that fucking story to people. They'd be like, what's the craziest thing you ever did sexually? I was like, I met Hillary Duff one time, and I put some chocolate ice cream up her ass, and then she soft served it onto me.
That is now going to be known as the Hill Duff.
Yeah. When people be like, what's soft serve? And I'm like, oh, that's when they squat over you, and then they like squeeze it out, but then they spin their butt around so it does a little swirl on.
Jesus fucking Christ.
And now that we have no listeners anymore, what about your male celebrity crush? Who's your male celebrity crush? And would you kiss them on national television if they asked you to?
See, that's the thing, though. I'll admit when a dude's attractive, but I don't want to kiss them. I mean, so hypothetically, I will. Like, I don't know.
So if Ryan Reynolds was like, Dalton, I want you to tongue fuck me on E! Entertainment tonight.
On E! No. Yeah. Who the fuck watches E! You're talking about me listening to bands that nobody knows. You're naming channels that no one's watched in 20 years.
Old people watch it, and they're the most judgmental of homosexual relationships. So they're going to be like, that Dalton fella, I just don't trust him anymore. He kissed that boy on TV.
I don't know. Who's a celebrity that's like a twink? They're the ones that aren't hairy.
RuPaul?
Sure. I'll tongue fuck RuPaul on TV.
Okay.
No, I'll probably go Henry Cavill.
Yeah, I can see that. He's got that little butthole on his chin. Yeah. Jesus. You can just sort of lick that a little bit. Just get a little tongue flick on the chin butt.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Dude, if Chris Hemsworth was at like an Avengers premiere and was like, I want to make out with you, Jeremy, I'd be like, okay. Like I had this conversation with a friend of mine earlier today. Like, I've considered dating dudes before. I don't think I'm gay or bi, but I was like, I don't know. How do you know if you don't try? But like, I don't really want to like make out with a dude. Like, Nobody's 100% straight. There's an amount of money out there that will make you gay for once.
I was curious enough to let one of my gay friends blow me, but like he kissed me and I was like, nah.
Like the kissing, the cuddling, the holding hands, walking around in public and stuff, I'm just not into dudes that way. Like, nothing wrong if you are. Absolutely. Like, I'm just not. And
so you're like a Roman.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just like, well, fuck men for pleasure and women are for everything else.
Yeah. No, like I said, there's an amount of money out there that will turn anyone gay. So no one's 100% straight. But yeah, like, I don't know, I could probably kiss like Chris Hemsworth. If nothing else, like I said, for the story. Doing it for my fans. They were like, what's the craziest?
Shocked.
Yeah. What's the craziest thing you ever did? Oh, I made out with Chris Hemsworth on a red carpet at Avengers premiere.
Again, I'm shocked you didn't pick Roman Reigns.
I mean, he'd be a close second. Yeah. We're like in the fucking WrestleMania ring. Like, I just jump in the ring as a fan, and he just runs over and like slams me into the turnbuckle and starts making out with me. I'm like, no, Roman, no, don't, Roman, no. No, don't.
You start tapping out, he's declared the winner.
Yeah.
He does the gold dust.
Yeah.
And then now he's Roman dust.
Instant heel for the rest of his career. I feel like there's probably a lot of anti-LGB wrestling fans, just by nature.
Probably, but I think it's become more inclusive now that there are a lot more openly homosexual wrestlers.
Yeah, but I feel like a lot of their fan base falls into the conservative, southern, and lower income brackets. And that tends to be where most of the bigots are.
Well, see, that's the way it used to be. Wrestling's changed a lot since indies became really big around the country.
Yeah.
Specifically, like the WWE and AEW crowds, like it's not like the WCW crowds used to be back in the day, where they'd be at Sturgis in North Dakota, and when Harlem Heat came out, all the bikers in the crowd were chanting not so nice things.
Yeah,
it's WCW and that kind of thing. That was a whole different ball game because that was a southern based territory company type thing.
What if Roman Reigns starts making out with me on the Jumbotron at Daytona 500? Would we make it out of the racetrack alive?
I mean, yeah, probably, because Roman would probably just beat people up for you on the way out.
I don't know, because I think they let you bring guns into NASCAR tracks. We might get shot. I don't know. Worth the risk. He's hot. Like I said, I'm a straight man. I don't think I'm bi, but that dude's hot. I can appreciate the attractiveness of my fellow man, but something about that female form just fucking makes me do irreprehensible shit in order to get to touch it. So yes, we would kiss our celebrity crushes.
So this one comes from Kana. With the rest of Nintendo Power hitting archive.org, what was your favorite video game magazine as a kid?
I didn't really have a favorite. I didn't subscribe to any of them. I kind of just I would buy a magazine based on what was packed in with it. Because back when I was younger, there would be like demo disc, or there would be Pokemon cards, or there would be some kind of shit packed in with it. And sometimes I just tore open the poly bag and just took the free item, stuck it in my pocket and stole it. But then sometimes I would just buy the magazine. So
you've always been a villain.
Always. I posted that thing in YazPod chat and Discord the other day where it was like, just think, everyone's the antagonist in their, or everyone's the protagonist in their own story. And the guy was like, I like to think of myself as the antagonist in everyone else's story. And then just pulls his shirt over his head and kicks him in the nuts.
My favorite magazine, I had a subscription to it for years. It's PlayStation Magazine. And I was with it when I was getting the magazine every month with the demo for PlayStation 1. And then when they moved on to releasing PlayStation 2 demos and stuff, and dude, there's something to be said about demo discs that would come with demos for multiple games. I played the shit out of those demos. Yep. And I might not have ever gotten to play those games, but in my memory, I can still remember and be like, man, those games were fun because I played the demo and I know enough about the first level or two to know that I would have enjoyed that whole game.
Oh, yeah.
And I just feel like nowadays, I mean, I get that things have demos now, but they're all digital and you download them. It's not I wonder what's going to be on the demo disc. It's go find the demo that you want and play it. You might get a demo disc 1 month that's not that great.
Yeah.
But then you might get one that's got Tomb Raider 3 and Irigis and Final Fantasy 7, or I'm just picking random games, but you know what I mean.
Oh yeah.
I just miss those days.
You know what that makes me think of? That was probably one of the biggest wastes in history.
Can I guess?
What?
AOL discs?
No.
Oh.
Singles, where they put out a cassette of an album, and then they put out a single, which was the same exact cassette tape with just enough film in it to have their hit song and one other song on it.
Wow.
Yeah. Why not just make people buy the album? Because the album would be $12 or $14 or whatever, and then the single would be $4 or $5.
That's odd. I mean, I get why they used to do it on records and stuff when they would release 45s of just singles and stuff, but cassettes.
Yes, it would be a full-size cassette with just enough ribbon in it to have 2 to 4 songs. Sometimes they'd have 2 per side. Sometimes it'd be the single and then one other song. Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah, just such a fucking waste. Just buy the fucking album.
All right, so for this next question, I believe there was a picture for us to reference, correct?
Yes, let me pull that up.
All right, so this one comes in from Adam, and it is pick your 2000 starter pack. So, pack 1. Linkin Park's Hybrid Theory, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, PS2, Game Boy Advance, a Mewtwo holographic card, Spider-Man, the Tobey Maguire movie, a Motorola phone, Coca-Cola, Doritos.
Yes.
That's pack 1. Pack 2, 50 Cent, Get Rich or Die Trying, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, PlayStation 3, Nintendo DS, a bicycle.
That's a Game Boy Advance SP.
What did I say?
You douchebag. You said
What did I
DS.
say? Oh, sorry. The Game Boy Advance SP.
Shame.
Fast and Furious, a early smartphone, Pepsi,
iPhone.
and Cheetos.
Or no, that's iPhone. And you forgot there's a BMX bike in there.
I said there was a bike.
BMX bike.
I said bike while you were giving me shit about the Nintendo thing, you ass.
Yeah. Well, get your shit right.
So Pack 3 is a Britney Spears album. I don't know what album that is. I think it's the one with Toxic on it, though.
That is, oops, I did it again.
Okay, and yeah, that's the one with Toxic on it. Mario Kart for the GameCube, a GameCube, a PSP, MySpace, the movie Mean Girls, a phone that was like one of the kind that you would slide the screen up. And it had the sidekick, a Hawaiian Punch and Cheese Doodles, or Pack 4, which is Eminem's The Marshall Mathers LP. Great fucking album. Yes. Halo, an Xbox, a Nintendo. That's a DS. That's a DS. Okay. Facebook.
Call yourself a gamer.
Next Friday, a
BlackBerry.
I was about to say, fuck, what were they called? Yeah, BlackBerry, Sprite, and then Ridge.
Actually, yeah, I think that was a really early BlackBerry. Sprite, and then Wise, Ridges, sour cream, and onion. What about you? What's your pack?
Oh, man. Pack 1 all day. Pack 1 all day, dude.
See, mine is Pack 4. And the reason why, I owned or enjoyed every single item in that pack in real life. I had an Xbox with Halo, had the Marshall Mathers LP, had a DS, had Facebook. I actually, when Facebook first started, you had to have a college email to sign up for it. So I actually got one of my friends to let me use her college email so that I could go on Facebook because I didn't have a college email. And then next Friday, I love the Friday movies. I had Blackberries for a long time. Loved Sprite and loved sour cream and onion Ruffles or Ridges or Utz, Ripples, whatever.
Yeah, I also owned everything in my pack. Because I think that Mewtwo card was the one you got from going to see Pokemon 2000.
Yeah, that was the Mewtwo promo.
And then around here somewhere, I still have the DVD of Spider-Man, and I still have a Motorola phone somewhere around here that I bet
that was the Nextel, the chirp.
Yeah, beep, beep, where you at?
My brother and my dad had those. No, where you at was Boost Mobile. That was their tagline.
Okay.
Nextel was the construction worker handyman phone because it was supposed to be super rigid,
indestructible.
Like my brother swore by that shit because I don't know why he just fucking liked because it had walkie-talkie features. You could like press a button on the side and like walkie-talkie somebody instead of actually calling them. Oh yeah, and it was so fucking stupid to me. Like, I was like, I'll just pick my phone up and call. He's like, but you can chirp, watch, chirp, and then you gotta wait for the other person to answer it. I'm like, what the fuck is the difference? Like, you're literally having a phone conversation out loud where everybody can hear it. Like, nobody wants to hear your phone conversation. Just pick the phone up and call them. Yeah. But yeah, let's see. What all did I own in this? I owned Hybrid Theory. I owned San Andreas on Xbox. Had the Mewtwo card. Had Doritos and Coca-Cola I loved. I did watch Spider-Man. I had Get Rich or Die Trying. Never had GBAs growing up. I wasn't really into gaming when those were out. Loved Fast and Furious. Never had iPhones. Loved Pepsi. I love Cheetos, but not those. Not the Flamin' Hot Cheetos. I had a BMX bike.
Are those Flamin' Hot?
Yeah.
Oh, they are Flamin' Hot. Okay. Those are the original Flamin' Hots. Wow. Yeah.
I wasn't
99 cents. Man, what times.
I wasn't a big fan of Oops, I Did It Again, but her first album, like, I'm pretty sure I became a man to that fold-out poster that came with that album.
Oh, bro, see, I was very much in the Christina Aguilera Genie in a Bottle camp.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no, boy.
I was all about Britney. I had a GameCube, but I did not have Double Dash. No PSP. I had MySpace. Still haven't seen Mean Girls. Never had a Sidekick, but I always wanted one because one of them you could like push on the side and the screen like flipped like this and flipped up to the top, and I thought that was the coolest fucking thing ever. Everybody loves Hawaiian Punch. Like, cheese doodles are great. And then I had everything in Pack 4. But yeah,
man, have you seen just quickly that the new Fast and Furious movie. It's like called like Fast X or something like that. It's like $450 million.
Yeah, it's balloon. They said the budget has ballooned out of control.
Bro, that movie better be the best action movie ever, or that series is gonna die. Those movies were
fucking great when they were just fucking
the first two.
LA hood rats driving Honda Civics and shit. Now they're driving like $6 million hypercars and all, like fucking flying cars into space and shit. Like, get the fuck out of here.
It started off as a street racing movie,
exactly.
And now it's like, I don't even know what the fuck it is now.
The two best movies in that series are the first one and Tokyo Drift. No, Tokyo Drift.
I like Too Fast.
The second one wasn't bad. It was a little more Miami, like loud and bodacious, but it was good. But no, Tokyo Drift is probably the best movie in that series to me. The ones that are set in reality, not like jumping hypercars from one skyscraper into the next skyscraper and pulling down an airplane launching with a fucking Dodge Charger. Like, that shit's not fucking gonna happen. It's not real.
Yeah. Yeah, fucking ramping a Bugatti between buildings in Dubai.
Yeah,
fucking insane. All right, so let's see. What was the next question? So, growing up in your hometown, you're 12 years old. It's summer vacation. You have $10 in your pocket. What are you and your friends doing? From Jeff.
So we had a place where I grew up called Adventure Island. It was putt-putt, batting cages, arcade, laser tag, all of that. That was my go-to whenever I had money and time. I was always like, I want to go to Adventure Island, play in the arcade. That, or we would probably go to a matinee, or when I was 12, possibly would have just went to my best friend's dad's candy store and bought a bunch of candy. So
yeah, being 12 in Keystone, we would just go to the store and buy candy and like Gatorades and then go to the park. There was nothing really else to do.
Dude, I miss that candy store so much, man. That was such a great part of my childhood.
I feel the same way about my dad's music store when he owned his guitar store. Like, I loved it.
Yep.
Even though we ended up bankrupting over it. But
we would go. I think my mom would drop me off either at their house or I would spend the night or something, but I'd end up with them. We'd go to the candy store in the morning and we would work at the candy store, like scooping ice cream and stuff like that, for 2 hours or something. And then he would let us take a bag and just fill it with as much candy as we wanted. And his mom would take us to the movies, to like a matinee, and we would go watch a movie and eat, half a fucking grocery bag full of candy. And yeah, that dude, my childhood fucking rocked at parts.
My grandma used to do that shit where she would take me to go see a movie. My grandpa would drop us off, and in her purse she would have candy and like a bottle of Coca-Cola. So if the drink we got ran out, she'd just open it and fill it back up.
Yep.
And shit, it's fucking hilarious.
Dude, do you remember The Next Karate Kid with Hilary Swank?
Not a clue.
Dude, I remember seeing that movie in like a matinee, like a kid's summer matinee. And there's a scene where somebody busts in and she's like in her bra putting her shirt on. Dude, I was like, that's when I knew I wasn't gay. Because I saw that and I was like, can we go back and watch that scene again? And like, it's just her in a bra. Like, but that shit just like, I was like, I like girls' bodies.
There were a few movies that me and my grandma went and saw that I know for a fact that during the movie she was regretting deciding to take me to see those movies.
Yeah.
But we sat there and watched them anyway. Like we watched there's a movie called What's the Worst That Can Happen?
Oh yeah.
And it was Martin Lawrence and Danny DeVito, I think.
Oh, yep. Fucking great movie.
Freaking hilarious movie, but like not a movie you'd take a 9 or 10-year-old. Yeah.
No, not for kids.
But it was funny. I think she took me to see Shallow Hal too, which a little better than What's the Worst That Can Happen as far as
still not a kids movie though.
No.
I mean, it's a good message, but not a kids movie.
Yeah. But we would always just go see comedies together. That was our thing.
Let's see. I had something and I lost it.
I'm sorry.
What was it? I don't know. It's gone.
Okay, well then we'll move on to the next question.
Yeah.
This comes in from Team Retrogue. Charmander, Bulbasaur, or Squirtle?
So I was always Team Charmander growing up, but I'm finding myself more in the Squirtle Squad now. Like that fucking
Squirtle Squad.
That little fucking turtle is just cute as all hell. Like you can't go wrong with any of the three. Like they're all great.
So playing the games,
yeah,
I always chose Charmander.
Yep, you gotta get that Charizard.
Yeah, but if I had to pick my favorite out of those three, it's Bulbasaur.
Nate will appreciate that.
Because
when you said that, I just imagined in the top corner of your thing the little green text. I was like, Nate liked that, like in Fallout.
Fallout. I make that joke sometimes on the Steam machine, or just in real life, and I don't know if people get it or not. I'll be like, Dalton will remember that.
Yeah.
But. Yeah, no, man. Bulbasaur, like, I've always wanted a pet Bulbasaur, just like him just chilling a bit, just hanging out.
If I had to have one as a pet, Charmander would be the last choice. It'd probably be Bulbasaur because I feel like he will do the least amount of property damage.
Yeah. Poor Charmander, man. Like,
yeah, he's in a burning house now.
That one episode of the fucking anime where
the dude just fucking leaves him out there on the stump in the rain.
Yeah, he's curled up with the leaf over his tail so his tail doesn't go out. Because if their tail goes out, they die.
Yep.
Jesus Christ. What a sad scene for a kid's show.
Dude, everybody that watched that show was like, fuck that guy. Like, I want to kick his ass. He's like, because he was basically, Ash was like, is that your Charmander out there? He's like, oh, fuck that Charmander. He's like, I hope he dies out there in the rain. And it's like, dude, fuck you, kid. Like, I know you're 10, but I'm going to kick your ass anyways. Then Ash goes and gets him, and then he turns into a Charizard and is like, fuck Ash, catch him. This bitch ain't got enough badges to tell me what to do.
Yeah, I like that. Like, Pokemons have, like, the sentience enough to be like, nah, dog, talk to me when you got 6 badges.
You ain't alpha enough for me, bitch. I want to do my own thing.
So, another question from Team Retro. What's the one video game franchise that you've played that you would be devastated if it just disappeared?
So, I'm going to say...
Now, wait, I have a question first. Before. So, is this like all of them are gone and you can never play any of them anymore? Or is it just goes away and you never get to play any new ones?
My answer would cover both, but I'm looking at it as... the franchise dies. No new games. Like, what you have is what you have. You're never getting anything else.
Okay.
I'm going to say The Last of Us. I really, really, really want to play another Last of Us game. And if they were just like, no, we decided we don't want to do anymore, then I'd be like, Yakuza, it would suck if they didn't make any new games, but you have so many fucking games to play in that franchise that, like, I'm still, like, we have 7-8 games still to play.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like, if they never...
A lot.
I was a little butthurt when Judgment potentially was getting canceled over that whole dispute. But, like, yeah, if The Last of Us didn't get any more games in it, I'd be pretty upset about that.
What if I have an answer for this because it happened?
What is it?
Siphon Filter.
I can see that.
So, Siphon Filter 1 through 3 were fire on PlayStation. And then on PS2, I think there was like another one that came out called the Omega Strain. Yeah. And I think it was all right. It didn't review well. And then I think there were like 1 or 2 games for the PSP. And then that's it. Siphon Filter went away. Yep. But like, dude, bring back Gabe Logan nowadays. And I feel the same about Splinter Cell. Like those games, if you brought them back now with like, and I'm just going to use this as an example, like Metal Gear 5's engine.
Yeah.
Or something. You know, they could work really well.
Yeah, I think there's an audience for them today.
Yeah.
I don't think we need both, but I think if you brought one back, I know they were like...
Siphon Filter was a lot less stealthy.
Yeah. Wasn't Splinter Cell Xbox exclusive?
Yeah, and Siphon Filter, I believe, was PlayStation.
So if Xbox was smart, they talk Ubisoft into bringing that shit back out as an Xbox exclusive, but they don't care. They just buy companies and take their games as exclusives.
But also, like, I would be sad if the Neptunia series just decided to go away, because I do enjoy the campiness of that. But like you said, with like one of the first things that popped in my head was like Final Fantasy and Dragon Quest. But like, there's so many of those games.
Yep, you can go back and play those. Whereas like The Last of Us and Judgment, they're 2 games each, and yeah, if you just had those 2 games and nothing else, that would kind of suck. So.
Yeah, for sure. Another series that I would like to see continue on, even though the last one didn't review super well, is Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
But that was owned by Square
Dynamics.
Enix, Crystal Dynamics, and that was like Square Enix's thing over here, and then they sold all their companies over here. So I don't know where that...
They sold it to...
Where that lies.
Embracer Group? Embracer Group?
Embracer.
They may do something with it, because they got to make some of that, which, I mean, they bought it for fucking pennies, really. Like, my understanding is they bought the movie rights, they bought everything Tomb Raider. So,
yeah. And
there's like a movie in the works, is my understanding, so.
Oh, cool.
I
would like to...
that was so fucking stupid for Square. I'm going to go back to, like, that's so fucking stupid for Square to sell all that stuff off. To make NFTs, which they don't even fucking... They're not even doing now, because they realize NFTs are fucking stupid, too.
And it's like they just wanted to get rid of all of their North American dev teams. They were just like, we're just going to focus on Japan.
Yeah.
You know,
so, we're going to focus on Final Fantasy VII. We're going to just keep making remakes of Final Fantasy VII for the next every console that comes out. We're going to make a Final Fantasy VII remake for.
But to stay on the Tomb Raider thing for a second, like, so these past 3 games that Crystal Dynamics did were kind of like taking you back before of the older games. What I'd like to see them start doing now is just remaking the older games, but maybe combining them. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like Tomb Raider 1 and 2 remade or whatever, you know.
Or remake the games, but in the new engine with the new like assets and all of that stuff.
Oh, yeah, no. Yeah, no, absolutely.
Like Lara takes a little time off, goes and gets a boob job, comes back with like quadruple D's.
Jesus, like, they don't have to be that.
No, don't do that, please. Do people give so much shit to the new Lara Croft? Like, dude, she is fucking hot. Like, I know she's fake, but she's fucking hot. Like, I will defend her. Because,
I mean, I get that aesthetically, if you compare her to the model character from 1, they look distinctly different. But like, dude, who cares? It's like another actress playing a character.
Yeah, like how many archaeologists do you think have gigantic fucking boobs like that? Like,
and long legs. And
like they're not fucking WWE divas out here spelunking in pyramids and shit. Like, they look like normal people. The new Lara Croft looks like a normal person.
And that's perfectly all right. You know what I mean? Like, people are just so... I don't know.
I'd take her out to a nice Italian dinner.
So, another one from Team Retro. What would happen in the unlikely situation that Jeremy and Dalton were interested in the same girl?
I like what Fenrir said. Eiffel Tower.
Eiffel Tower. High five in the middle.
High five in the middle.
Problem solved.
No, honestly, though, I'm very much in the camp of letting a woman make her own choices. So I would think that we would be like, look, we both have feelings for you. Balls in your court. Like, it is what it is. I wouldn't get offended if she's like, well, I want to be with Dalton. I'd be like, okay. Like, I might be sad about it, but I'll get over it.
That's the adult way to handle things. You know what I mean?
Like, I don't want to try to force somebody to like me that doesn't like me. Like, I'm not going to be in a relationship with somebody who doesn't choose me first, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
I absolutely get that.
And I'm going to be like, once you date Dalton, I can't date you because I don't date my friends' exes. That's just how I am.
I've done it before. It causes issues. And I've had people date my exes and it causes issues. So, like, I get that.
Dude, I think I might have told the story on the podcast. I dated this girl for like 10 months. We living together, everything. We broke up and my best friend started dating her. They hated each other while we were dating. And then as soon as we broke up, within like a week or two, they started dating. And I've talked to her as an adult and she was like, A little bit of backstory. So me and her dated for like 10 months. He dated a girl for about 3 weeks that I'd known since she was like 8 years old, right? She had a huge crush on me when she was 8 and I was like 11 or something like that. Well, when she found out that me and him were best friends, she started like talking to me, you know, as friends again. So I broke up with Tabitha while I was at work. She like some shit happened on the phone. I was like, you know what, pack your shit. I'm taking you to your mom's house when I get home. Took her to her mom's house, came back home, and Laura texted me and was like, oh, hey, how's your day going? I was like, oh, it's kind of shitty. Me and Tabitha just broke up. Unbeknownst to me, she got in her car and drove over to my house to find out, to see if I was okay, is what she said. So my buddy lived next door to me, saw her car pull up in my driveway, knowing I had broke up with Tabitha. Instead of calling me and saying, hey, why's Laura at your house? He called Tabitha and said, hey, why's Laura at Jeremy's house? So making Tabitha think that me and Laura had something going on.
Yeah.
Then he started dating her. Yeah. Then he started dating. She went out with him to try to stab back at me. And yeah, that like, we're still friends, but it's not the friendship that was then. So yeah, I don't do that. Like I don't date my friends' exes. If it's something where like you guys went on like 2 or 3 dates and there was no chemistry or whatever, that is what it is. Like if you dated for any, like if you've been in love with this person, it's just not worth it.
I concur, sir.
So yeah,
and I think there's a big and honestly, like when my friends are super into a girl,
yeah,
and they're not dating them, but they really, really, really are into them.
Yep.
I don't even try to. I don't like to do that either.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Because I've been there. I've been there and really, really liked the chick, and then had one of my best friends fuck her, and then tell me about it.
Yeah.
You know
that just ruins it.
It's not fun.
Yeah.
It just hurts.
Yep. I remember saying shit because me and him worked together too. And like the guys that worked in his department would talk shit and stuff. And I'd be like, oh yeah, ask him how my dick tastes. But yeah, like it just ruined the friendship. So I don't do that anymore.
Dude, I remember there was a Twisted song and I wish I could remember the actual whole lyric. But it was just like, where you think she learned to suck a dick like that or something like that. So how many hours have you put into the new Pokemon game now from Ostara? My answer is 0. I haven't had a chance to buy it.
Yeah. I've probably played, because I only play it at work, so maybe 10 hours if that. Like I kind of play it and then the customer comes in, I just put it down. So maybe 10 hours, probably less, but because I played it Saturday, Sunday, yeah, probably less, maybe 4 or 5 hours, just because I've only played it for 2 days and at work. So yeah,
impressed so far?
I think it's decent. Yeah, I'm enjoying just going around catching Pokemon.
Oh yeah. Well, I think this is going to be our Pokemon block because Team Retro wants to know how many glitches and bugs have you found in the new Pokemon game now?
I haven't seen any. It runs fine for me. The only thing I've noticed that bugs me at all, and it's minor, is pop in. Like the draw distance is pretty short in the game. So you'll be riding around on your dragon cycle or whatever, and Pokemon will just appear.
How fucking early do you get that?
Oh, you get it right away pretty much.
What? That's legendary.
But, spoiler alert, it's not like a Pokemon. Like it shows up, does some battling stuff, and then it's like, I don't have any energy. So all I can do is walk around with you. And then it's like, I'm assuming as you beat shit, it gets energy. And then once you get towards the end game, it's like, okay, you can use me in battles and stuff now. But like, it doesn't even show up in my Pokedex. So, yeah.
All right then.
Yeah, it's weird.
Interesting choice.
But yeah, you get that really, really, really early. So, but yeah, I haven't run into any glitches or anything with it.
I mean, I've seen some hilarious ones online.
Oh yeah, the one we talked about was the one where the guy would like take his dragon cycle out, and it made him super big with his arms and legs were really long and lanky. And that shit was just really funny looking. Dalton had a little come up his nose. Had to get it cleared out of there.
So, who is your favorite Elite Four member?
I don't know the Elite Four members intimately like that, but at the same time, I'm going to say fuck all of them. Fighting the Elite Four was never enjoyable for me. I always hated it.
I like Lance and his dragon types.
Who's the chick with the ghost types? I don't know.
Question.
I'll say her, but I don't like any of them. Fuck them all.
We'll call her Pimperella.
Yeah, I don't like any of them. Fuck the Elite Four. Fuck Champions Road or whatever it's called, Champions Path or whatever.
What Pokemon City was always a joy to visit, and that comes in from Jeff.
Is it Lavender Town in the original games that had the Pokemon Tower or whatever with all the ghosts in it? I think it was Lavender Town. Yep. That was always really cool to me.
I liked oh fuck. People correct me if I'm wrong on the name. It's been a long time, but in Pokemon Gold, I think it was Cerulean City was the big city that had like the big radio tower in it and the gambling place and all of that stuff. I really liked that one. It also had the Safari Zone in it, I believe.
Did I ever tell you that theory about Lavender Town?
Maybe Celadon? No. Oh no, let's talk about the fan theory that all the Pokemon are dead.
No, I mean all the Pokemon in that tower are dead.
I know that, but
no, there's a theory that your rival Gary, you find him in the tower and have a battle with him, right? So there's a theory that you killed one of his Pokemon, and he was
Raticate.
Yeah, and he was there, like saying goodbye to it. Yeah, because he had a Raticate in the previous battle that you battled him in, and then when you meet him in the tower, he no longer has that Raticate. So the theory is you killed his Raticate in that battle, and he was in the tower saying goodbye to it, and you came and kicked his ass again in front of his Raticate's ghost.
Maybe you're the antagonist of the game.
Yeah. I mean, if it's me, of course. Dude, I was thinking about it. How fucked up is this game? So, like, I'm running around in the new game, and you run across some of the trainers that look like they're probably 6 or 7, maybe 8 years old, right? And they're like, look at this Pokemon I got. And you're basically running around beating up these kids and taking their lunch money. Because mm-hmm. Like you beat them up and it's like, you got 378 credits. I always call them yen because it's a Japanese game. But like 378 yen is roughly $3.78. That's fucking lunch money. Like you're literally running around beating these kids up and taking their fucking lunch money. Like, yeah, you're the antagonist in Pokemon. You're running around beating up wild animals and kidnapping them from their homes.
You're enslaving them.
Yeah, you're kidnapping them from their homes and forcing them to fight for you. Like, yeah, you're kicking the shit out of little kids you find in the streets. Like, yeah, that's you're a bad person in Pokemon.
That's one reason I really liked the idea that they went with in Legends Arceus or Arceus, whatever it is, because it took you back to the time when Pokemon were still relatively like being discovered and studied, and people still feared them because you should.
Yeah, they're wild animals with mystical powers.
It's fucking. What if a deer could just walk up to you and like
light you on fire?
Yeah, just all of a sudden just hit you with a giant gust of wind or fucking just runs up and just donkey kicks the shit out of you.
I mean, that could happen in real life. A deer could run up and donkey kick the shit out of you.
That's true. That's true. Hit
but
5
guess
times.
What?
Critical hit.
Guess what? We don't send our 10-year-old children out to catch deer in the wild. We tell them, be careful, that deer is dangerous.
Well, unless you're... Now here, boy, take this here rifle with the scope. Now I want you to go out there and sit. I want you to shoot that deer right in the fucking head. You understand me?
Yeah, but that's with a gun.
Ting!
We're not sending them out there with... We're not sitting them out there with Rufus, the family basset hound, and being like, beat the shit out of that deer and catch it. Bring it home with you.
It's fucking electrical mouse that you strapped a battery to his back.
Yeah.
Shock! He's cooking or something. All right, so what is the best method of barbecue? Comes in from Jeff. Propane, charcoal, electric, or wood pellets?
Well, I'll tell you what.
Oh, Hank Hill can fuck himself. He is not correct.
Do you remember that episode where Peggy and Bobby, like Hank was out of town and Peggy and Bobby tried charcoal? Or no, they went to Luann's, and they're like, these burgers are so flavorful. What did you do different? She's like, oh, I just cooked them on the charcoal grill. And they were like, charcoal? And then they were like, it was like there was fucking heroin. They were like sneaking, fucking like bought a fucking little barbecue and some charcoal and like drove out in the middle of the woods and fucking cooked some burgers with it. And then came home and like washed all their clothes with bleach and shit. Like it's fucking drugs.
Bro. Yeah, because charcoal's that good, man. Like, charcoal was my answer for this. Like, now, granted, I've never cooked with wood pellets. I can't comment on that.
I don't grill, so I don't have an answer for this, but I just think it's funny to say propane. I'll tell you what.
I'll tell you what. A D in English, Bobby, you speak English. One of my favorite lines ever.
Yeah. I love the one where he goes up to the fucking window in detention and puts that sign up there. And Principal Moss is like, if those kids could read, they'd be really upset.
Yeah. What's a restaurant that you gave more than enough chances, but you still don't like? And that comes from Jeff.
Let me think about that. There's a place in town called My Place. I've eaten there like twice, and the service always fucking sucks. Like both times I went, the service was awful. The waiters were like hanging out, talking, like just like they were at a party. We couldn't get like drink refills. Our food took forever. Getting the check took forever. Both times, so I just stopped going. Other than that, maybe Chick-fil-A. I just don't like Chick-fil-A. Their food is mediocre. There's always a fucking line that blocks traffic in the local area. Like, I don't get people's fascination with fucking Chick-fil-A. The waffle fries are even gross to me.
Man, I'm having a hard time thinking of one. There's a local place called Brooklyn Boys that it never really impresses me. So I don't really go there. They're the place that they have the giant "Let's Go Brandon" sign outside. And then they call themselves the Pig, the politically incorrect gastropub. And I'm like, motherfuckers, you guys serve pizza and beer and Philly cheesesteaks. You're not a gastropub.
Yeah.
Like,
that's a trigger word they heard. A buzzword.
You're not a pub.
Yeah. They don't know what they're talking about because they're idiots, obviously.
You're a restaurant with a bar. You're not a fucking pub. You don't serve pub food, you dumb fuck. Oh, yeah. It really bothers me. It bothered the shit out of me when I saw that.
I would say McDonald's because every time I eat McDonald's, I'm always disappointed with it, but I still go back on occasion. So, like, every time I eat McDonald's, I'm just like, why did I eat that? Like, ugh.
Yeah, but dude, while you're eating it though, man, that double quarter pounder goes down real good. So what's the best 3D platformer even today with its modern updates? Super Mario 64, Crash Bandicoot, or Spyro the Dragon? That comes in from Jeff.
Mario 64.
Crash Bandicoot.
I don't like Crash Bandicoot. Spyro is pretty good. I'm just not a Crash Bandicoot fan. I didn't grow up with it, so I don't have the nostalgia for it. And some parts are fucking difficult.
Oh, that game's hard as fuck.
Yeah. So I just don't. I love it. I just don't like it. Spyro, I think, is cool. I enjoyed playing Spyro back in the day, but Mario 64 would be my definitive answer. So it's just such a good, polished game.
Yeah, I only ever played it at friends' houses. I didn't have a 64.
See, I had a 64 and I played the shit out of it. I had the unofficial guidebook, the yellow one with the eyes on the cover. I had that, and I would look through that to try to like figure out how to get all the stars. Man, that game was good.
Okay, we're on to the second page, the second and final page, but then we have more that popped up after we made the notes. So, what is your favorite moment when a wrestler broke character to be kind to a fan? And that comes in from Jeff.
I tried to think of some. I can't think of any offhand, so I may piggyback off some of yours. But one of my favorite, like, being good to fans things that wrestlers did, but it was kind of his character, was Bret Hart giving his sunglasses to a kid in the audience, like when he came out to the ring.
Yeah.
I always thought that was super fucking cool. So, I mean, those fucking, like, strip of plastic sunglasses he wore probably cost WWE, like, 25 cents a piece to make. But it was just the fact that made that kid's entire year. It's like, I got Bret Hart sunglasses. And I mean, the kid was sitting front row at WCW or WWF. So the kid's parents were fucking probably rich anyways.
Yeah. So the one that jumps out to me that I can remember was, I can't remember what match it was or whose kid it was, but somebody in the match like was getting brutally beaten.
Yeah.
And Randy Orton was on the outside of the ring.
It was Shane McMahon's kid.
Was it Shane McMahon's kid?
Yeah.
Okay. And he broke character and went over and like consoled them and made sure that they knew that he was all right.
Yeah. Yeah, I did see that when I was trying to look some up. It was Shane. But see, I didn't watch wrestling then. Although I do, yeah. I always kind of like Randy Orton.
Randy Orton's the fucking man, bro.
Yeah.
He's the man. I have watched Randy. So the first time I ever saw Randy Orton was at a house show in Gainesville, and it was before he debuted on TV when he was just wrestling, doing the loops.
Yeah. Doing the circuit.
And so I've literally watched his entire career.
Nice.
From when he started all the way up until now. It's been a ride. So like Randy Orton's like is one of my favorites because of that. You know,
because I saw he did it with Shane McMahon's son, and Triple H did it with a kid one time.
Mm-hmm. Well,
yeah,
let's word that a little different.
That sounded weird, but yeah, he consoled a kid in the audience one time.
Yeah, I could tell you about one that cracked me the fuck up. So it was at NXT in Stark. Yeah. They came to the Stark Armory, and you know of people who wrestle now. Braun Strowman, have you seen him?
Yeah, big dude.
So big dude. So he came out in NXT and cut a promo, and he was wearing trunks.
Yeah.
Like black trunks, like Stone Cold, and that was it. And his knee pads and his boots. So like it was just this massive guy cutting a promo. And then he gets out of the ring and he's walking and he's looking at the crowd and he stops because like there's this little girl, probably 9, if that, maybe 6, standing in the front with her hands on her hips, just giving him like the meanest mug. And he stopped and he mean mugged back at her. And that little girl stood up on her tippy toes and mean mugged even harder. And dude, I could see it in his face. If he didn't have that big ass beard, he'd be grinning, or you could, because his fucking side of his mouth was just twitching, trying not to smile at this kid. And he's just looking at her, and then he just like turns and walks off. And I was like, that little fucking girl just about broke that big motherfucker.
Oh yeah. So one who didn't break character, but it was the most asshole thing I've ever seen. I don't remember the details, but I'm sure you will. One of the big heel characters, like some kid held up a sign that said like they had leukemia or something.
So
yeah,
yes,
I'll let you tell it because you know the details.
So Chris Jericho during his heel run,
yes,
they were in Canada, and he's from Canada, but he was coming down to the ring, and there was a kid on the stage that said like Bret Hart is gonna kick someone's butt like I'm kicking leukemia's butt, or something like that. And Chris Jericho, I think it said Bret Hart's gonna beat Chris Jericho like I beat leukemia or something. And Chris Jericho didn't even look at the kid. He's just walking by, reaches to the left, rips the fucking sign out of the kid's hand, tears it in half, throws it on the ground, and keeps walking to the ring. Never even looked at the fucking kid. And what a heel. What a heel.
That's like the most epic heel move ever. And I want to feel like they took that little girl backstage and like she got to meet her favorite wrestlers and shit. And they were like, it was just all for TV, blah, 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 Like I really hope they took her back and like explained to her. It's not just like, Chris Jericho doesn't care that you had cancer.
He probably really doesn't, though.
Probably doesn't.
Or no, the character Chris Jericho.
Yeah.
I'm sure the person would, but...
Dude, I didn't know. I saw today, speaking of wrestling, John Cena wrote a self-help book. I didn't know that.
That doesn't surprise me because his tweets are always very positive.
He seems like a genuinely good person. The more I find out about him, the more... Oh, and they aren't called self-help anymore. The section in the Barnes & Noble is now called personal growth, which I think is phenomenal. I think that's just great. Like, instead of calling it self-help, it's saying you're not trying to help yourself because there's nothing wrong with you. You're just trying to grow as a person. And that just sounds so much better to me.
Sounds a lot better.
Yeah. It's not like something's wrong with you and you need help. But yeah, he has a personal growth book. So, yeah.
So this next question comes in from Team Retro, and I'm interested about how I'm going to have to answer this. What is your absolute worst customer flaw that you haven't brought up yet on the podcast?
Oh, wait. I might have... Hold on. I might have
wrong.
worded that wrong. Let me look at my list. I was going through and typing them in a hurry. Yeah, I think it was, what is your absolute worst customer issue that you haven't brought up yet on the podcast? I think I read it as your worst character flaw that you haven't brought up on the podcast.
Oh, man. Character flaw.
Yeah. So I was like, customer issue. So what's the worst customer issue you brought? I've kind of brought all mine up. One of the things I really hate is when parents bring their kids in and don't watch them. And they just run around like fucking crazy people. One thing I really, 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 really hate is when people call my store and when I answer the phone, they're having a conversation in the background to the point they don't even realize I've answered the phone. Yeah. And then they come back, they're like, hello? I'm like, dude, you're calling me. Pay a fucking attention. That just drives me insane. And when people say, do you have such and such? And I say yes or no, and they just hang up. They don't say anything else. That drives me fucking nuts.
I hate when people call up to Walgreens and they're like, I'm like, thank you for calling Walgreens. This is Dalton. How may I help you? And I'm like talking on the phone while I'm dealing with customers because I'm the only one up front.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah. Do you have a certain product?
Yeah.
So it's called, and I'm just gonna pick a product. The Band-Aids.
Yeah.
Do you have the small Band-Aids? And if you could tell me the price on those, that'd be great. Like expecting me to be like, okay, yeah, hold on, and then I'll just hit like, wait, and then I'm just gonna leave all these customers I'm ringing up. Yeah. I'm gonna immediately walk back there to see.
Yeah.
Fuck that. They should have somebody whose job it is to answer the phones and then go look at shit and then answer questions. Like, because they get so many fucking calls.
Dude, I get people that call me so many times and say, well, what GameCube games do you have in stock? I'm like, oh, we got a selection. Well, could you name them all for me? I did it one time. I was like, I always say, is there any game in particular you're looking for? They said, can you just name them? So this one guy, I'm like, okay. So I name off like 20 games. When I'm finished naming them, he's like, so you don't have Super Mario Sunshine? I'm like, why the fuck didn't you ask me that in the first place, you goddamn asshole? I hope you get herpes. Like, and I'm happy. Somebody called me yesterday and was like, what GameCube games do you have? I'm like, oh, we got, a handful of them. They tend to sell pretty quick. He's like, well, if you could just read off the ones you have, like, I could let you know. I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. If you want to know what I have, come in the fucking store and look. Or say, do you have Twilight Princess? Do you have Super Mario Sunshine? Do you have Double Dash? And I'll say, no. They sell quick. We aren't able to keep them in stock. But like, no, they want you to read off all the games when they very, very clearly have 2 or 3 games in mind that they want. And it pisses me off so fucking much that I refuse to do it. I had somebody ask me if I could read off my PS3 games to them. At the time, I had 3 4-foot long shelves full of PS3 games. I was like, yeah, no, I can't do that. I'll lie. I'll be sitting at my desk like with my feet up doing nothing. I'll be like, I'm busy with a customer right now. I can't do that. You're welcome to come by and check.
I don't know if this is exactly a customer issue, but this is a customer interaction issue that I had a long time ago. I don't know if I've ever told this on the show. I worked at Harvey's. This guy came in, like bought something or did a return. I don't remember exactly what the fuck it was. It was a return, and I did everything I needed to. I gave him the return receipt and everything. I gave him his change, and I set it on the counter. So I said, okay, well, here's your receipt. Yep. And then I put down the change and stuff. I said, here you go. You have a great day, sir. And I started filling out the paperwork that I had to do for my end, right?
Yeah.
And he looks at me and he goes, can I get you to do me a favor? And I was like, yeah, sure. Yes, sir, sure. What you need? Could you hold your hand out for me? I'm like, yeah. And I held my hand out, and he picks up the change and the money, and he puts it into my hand. And he looks at me and he holds his hand out and he goes, now put the change in my hand. And I put the change into his hand. And this whole time I'm looking at him like with my eyebrow raised. And he goes, that's how you do your fucking job. And then he walked out and I was like, wow, what a shit dick.
Yeah, fuck that
guy. I was like, oh man, I hope your tires pop.
Yeah, fuck all that shit.
There's also this guy that comes into Walgreens it's really unnerving when he's in there because he doesn't let you touch what you're ringing up. Like, he'll hold each item up one by one and you scan it and he'll put it back in his cart. And then he pays with his watch and he doesn't touch anything and he won't talk to you. He can talk because I've had him talk before when he was complaining about a price on something.
Yeah.
But like he comes in and he's just doesn't talk, doesn't let you touch anything. It's very strange.
If they don't want to talk to me, I'm cool with that because I don't like talking anyways.
No, that's fine. But the whole like each item individually, just holding it up and scanning it. And I get if you're a germaphobe.
Yeah.
And like I want to tell him like, dude, I spray alcohol on these counters and wipe them down like every 10 people or so. Like I try to keep it as sanitary as possible.
Meanwhile, that cart he's pushing around, when's the last time somebody thoroughly sanitized that whole thing?
Yeah, good fucking question.
Exactly.
That is a good question.
My thing about being that weird about germs, I mean, now, granted, he could have some kind of autoimmune disease or something and getting sick could kill him. I don't know. Could just be a germaphobe. But, like, if it's not detrimental to your health, I feel like doing like that will make it, when you do get sick, it's much worse. Because your body isn't used to fighting anything off.
I tell you what was weird is he came in one day and he like bought like I'm just going to call it a power bar.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then he left and about 20 minutes later he came back in and bought another power bar and then he left. And then about 20 minutes later he came back in and bought another power bar and then left. And I was like, that's fucking odd. Why didn't you just buy 3?
Yeah.
At the first time.
It's like goes out to the car and is like, well, I ate that one. I'm still kind of hungry. Let me give it like 20 minutes. Okay, yeah, I'm still hungry. I'm going to go get another one.
What is an underrated TV show that was canceled and was great but doesn't get talked about enough? From Jeff.
So I have 1,000 answers for that show, for that
Tripping
question.
the Rift.
But
Metalocalypse.
there's one I found out got canceled this week. I'm trying to figure out. Let's see. And it really I can never remember the name of this show. Let's see. It's called As We See It. It was on Amazon Prime, and it was a story about 3 autistic, like, young adults who got an apartment together. That show was phenomenal. And I just found out this week, like Friday, that it's canceled. They're not doing any more seasons. I was like, man, I really like that show. And yeah, Amazon just pulled the plug on it.
That was a bummer.
That one, and there was a Netflix show called I'm Not Okay With This. And it was like a young girl who had developed superpowers. But like, they don't really even get into the power stuff until the last episode, and then it just got canceled. So it's like, you used a whole season to build up to this. They finally get to something cool. It ends on a cliffhanger, and then you're just like, yep, fuck y'all. We're not doing this anymore.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Especially for Netflix.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That, and I love more Mission Hill. Mission Hill is great. Nobody talks about it. I'd love that show to come back. Brian Posehn's on that show.
It rings a bell. Was that the cartoon? No, I'm thinking of China, Illinois. Never mind.
China, Illinois was pretty good too. It was
China,
weird.
China, Illinois.
Yeah, that show is pretty good. No, this one was like a 90s or early 2000s animated show about this kid who was like really smart but really nerdy, and his older brother was a cartoonist that moved to the big city, and his parents were moving out of state, but they wanted to leave the younger kid there to finish high school, so they had to move in with his older brother in the city. And like, basically his older brother's a pothead slacker, and so they don't get along at all. But yeah, like, Brian Posehn was his weird ass roommate. And yeah, the show is just so fucking good. It's criminally underrated.
Oh yeah. Like I said, Metalocalypse for sure.
Yeah.
Because that just got its nuts cut off. I'm gonna go Tripping the Rift. Didn't get enough love. I'm gonna go Son of the Beach. It's a Howard Stern production back in the 90s. Could have gone longer. I think it got 2 seasons before it got canceled. That show was fucked up, but funny.
Yeah.
Example. One of the characters in the show's name was Chip Rommel.
Yeah.
And he gives this girl a ring, and she's just like, "Oh my God, this is beautiful. Where did you get it?" And he's like, "It's a family heirloom. My grandfather collected jewelry in the war." It's like, Jesus Christ. Like, just jokes like that are just rough.
Oh yeah.
And then the mayor's name is Anita Massengill.
Nice.
There's Jamaica St. Croix, BJ Cummings, And then the main character is Notch Johnson, which I can't remember the guy who played him's name, but he's hilarious.
Just had one. I don't know. I lost it. It's getting late.
It is. That's only midnight.
Yeah, that's late. For normal people, that's late, Dalton.
What is your favorite Pokemon game that comes in from Ostara?
Probably like Let's Go, Eevee and Pikachu. I really like those guys. I know they get shit on, but the originals were always my favorites, and those were a reimagining of the originals that I just really enjoyed playing.
I think I'm going to go Gold and Heart Gold.
I'll give a shout to X and Y too. I really like those as well. Those are the games that got me back into Pokemon.
All right, so we covered the Elite Four already, but out of all the Pokemon games, what is your favorite gym leader? And that comes in from Fenris.
Probably Blaine with the Fire Gym.
I think it was Sabrina.
Sabrina was really cool.
The ghost types.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like her a lot too. And I also like he's the first one in Gold. I think his name is Falco.
I don't know. I didn't play Gold.
He's got a bunch of birds and stuff. He's a cool one.
Yeah.
This one comes in from Jeff. How weird is it that parents will kick their 10-year-old child out of the house so they can become Pokemon trainers? I think we already kind of covered that.
Yeah, it's kind of fucked up. Here you go, son.
Strange.
You turn 10. Take your dog and go out in the woods and catch a deer. Oh, by the way, the deer can shoot fireballs.
Yeah. The final question, at least for this list, and then we can go to the actual chat questions.
Yeah.
And Jeff, are you all right?
Yeah, are you okay, Jeff?
You okay, Jeff? Is there anything hornier and creepier than Casper the Friendly Ghost from the 1995 Casper movie? He sees Christina Ricci on... Is it Ricci?
Yes.
Yeah, on TV, gets her to come to his house and wants to keep her and bone her. And this movie was charming. P.S. I do like this movie.
That movie was charming. And have you seen Christina Ricci? That's fuck yeah. I'd want to fucking keep her at my house and bone her too.
Fun fact, one of the hardest games I ever played as a kid is Casper the Friendly Ghost for the PlayStation 1.
Nice.
It's a fucking hard puzzle game.
Nice.
Well, puzzle. There are a lot of puzzles in it. But yeah, the uncles do not make that fucking game easy.
Yeah. Dude, that movie's so fucking good though.
Yeah. Dude,
and dude, Christina Ricci and Black Snake Moan. Fuck yeah. I'd Ghost Attack that.
Alright, so let's see. Where did we leave off? Oh, holy shit. Okay.
I told you there's still a bunch of them. How many games do you have in your backlog from Fenris? A lot.
Well, I can actually give you a number for my PC backlog. A rough estimate because I haven't added games to it recently, but
I don't have nearly as many as Dalton has. Games I seriously want to play that I own and haven't played yet is probably maybe 4 or 5. Like Kenna Bridge of Spirits I own and haven't played yet. Stray, Doki Doki, Lost Judgment. That's probably it for like physical. There's a few on there's probably 5 to 10 on Game Pass I really want to play and I haven't played. Little Hope, so say 5 physical ones. And then a bunch of Game Pass that I haven't played yet. So mine's not terrible, but a lot of the games are very long, extensive games too.
I have a number.
What is it? 473.
You think that's it?
I don't know.
That's it? That's okay. So for my PC backlog, including Steam, GOG, Epic, and all the free games I've gotten from them, Ubisoft, all of that shit.
Yeah.
1,916.
There you go. I mean, I have a bunch of games that I haven't played, but I'm looking at the shit that I actually am looking forward to playing at some point in the near future. And I'm going to say 5 to 10.
Oh. Well, Jeremy, my backlog podcast is based upon this list that I'm looking at. So yeah. I would like to play all of these.
There's some shit in there. I'm sure you're like, I don't really care about that, but it was free.
I won't deny that.
Yeah. We all have those games where it's like, I don't give a shit about that, but it was free, so I downloaded it. I might care about it at some point in time.
What is your go-to beer when that's the only option to drink? And that comes from Jeff.
I don't like any beer.
So if they have craft beer, I'm going Midnight Oil from Swamphead Brewing Company here in Gainesville. If they don't, I'm just going Budweiser. Not Bud Light. Fuck Bud Light, but Budweiser. Give me that full flavored goddamn beer. Thank you.
Yeah, I just don't like beer at all. I'd rather just not drink anything.
What big purchases are you looking to make in the next year? That's fun.
So I'm assuming like rent and shit doesn't count.
Well, that's not fun.
No, it's not at all. I have the trip to Madrid that I want to do. That's about $1,000. I consider that a big purchase. So hopefully that works out. Tickets go on sale in 7 days now. So if I can get a ticket to the F1 exhibition, then I'll start looking at booking out.
Yeah. I would like to get a PS5 eventually. That would be sweet.
That'd be a good pickup. They're getting easier to find now. I mean, you still have to have the money for it, but they're getting easier to find.
I would also like a new graphics card, and I'm waiting for the 40 series to come out to get a 30 series.
Yeah.
So
I mean, they've gotten much more reasonable to find now because the crypto market took such a dump that people aren't trying to build mining rigs anymore.
Pizza question
from Jeffy Jeff.
From Jeffy Lube. Are you a thin, pan, or stuffed crust pizza type of guy? Jeff, stuffed, I think is STUFFED. Just to point it out.
Yeah. I will say though, I think there are companies that spell it like that as like a gimmick,
like a marketing thing. I got you.
I'm gonna look it up real quick.
So if you choose stuffed and you have the option, what kind of cheese would you want in the crust? There's only one answer to that. It's fucking mozzarella, Jeff. What's wrong with you?
Yeah. Maybe not. Well, let's see. No, look up what I said. Look up. Yeah, I don't see it. So yeah.
I mean, out of a pan, or a stuffed crust, I'd probably go pan pizza.
I like
stuffed
pan,
crust is really good,
but pan is always extremely greasy.
Yeah,
but it is good. But yeah, I do really like stuffed, and I'm gonna go.
I like thin too.
I'm gonna go with a curveball.
Hand toss.
Freshetta used to make a frozen stuffed crust pizza, but the crust was stuffed with sauce instead of cheese, and it was the best fucking thing that ever happened to the world. And I'm still standing by the fact that the world sucks so much today because Freshetta just discontinued that pizza, and that's what was the downfall of society. So Freshetta, if you're listening to this, pay us for some sponsorship and bring back the stuffed sauce pizza. I will do commercials for you for free. I'll advertise that pizza on the show because it's so fucking good. I used to buy those. I'd probably eat 2 or 3 of those a week. They're so fucking good. And just think, you eat the pizza, and then instead of having to dip your crust in sauce, it's just there. You just eat the crust, and it's already saucy. And it's fucking great. Fucking great. And they discontinued it. I think I sent them a shitty email when they discontinued it. Just like with the fucking ravioli pie. I got a coupon out of that. I think Freshetta basically just told me to go fuck myself. But yeah. They're probably like, you're the only motherfucker eating those things. Like, how many do I have to buy a week to make you keep fucking making them?
I don't think you could afford that, sir.
No, probably not, but I'd find a way. Sucking dick for Freshetta pizza.
Of all people that I know who I think would suck a dick for pizza, you are the one that tops that
I'm
list.
probably top of that list, yeah.
What is your favorite taco meat?
There's only one taco meat. Ground beef.
I agree. I thought you were going to make a pussy joke, but I completely agree.
No, that's roast beef.
Like steak coming in a second, but like chicken and steak's all right, but like for tacos.
Tacos have ground beef in them. Or ground turkey. It has ground meat in it.
Hold on. Mexican street tacos usually have like shredded or cut up steak, I think. But here, Taco Bell, like the only answer is ground beef.
Ground beef,
in my opinion. Yeah. But steak second.
I don't eat any other tacos except ground beef tacos. I don't put anything in them. No lettuce, no cheese, no nothing. Ground beef. But when we make like hard shell, or my mom would make hard shell tacos for dinner, I would get, and this is going to sound gross probably, but it's fucking good. Get a hard shell, get a slice of American cheese and lay it inside the shell, and then put fucking ground beef in it. Fucking good, I'm telling you.
So you don't. So what you're saying is you like cheeseburgers when they are
In a taco
ground
shell.
up and put it in a taco shell
With taco seasoning, yes. No, it's fucking good. Try it. It's good.
Soft or hard shell?
Soft, preferably, but I will eat hard shell. But
See, I
soft.
prefer hard shells, but I do love a soft shell.
Flour tortillas are just fucking good. I just really
Flour
like
tortillas are good. So I like flour tortillas for soft tacos. My dad likes corn tortillas for soft tacos. And I think he's
flour.
a psychopath.
Yeah, flour all the way. Corn tortillas are for hard shell tacos.
Yeah, I agree. And chips.
Yeah.
What's a
That
better
was, did you
movie?
say that was Kana?
I think so. If not, that was Kana. We love you, Kana. So I think the next question is, Dalton, when will you start watching One Piece? Who? Next year.
Yeah,
Next year.
that's
And-
I started a fucking undertaking last night. I watched the first episode of Dragon Ball Z. Not Kai,
Nice.
just Dragon Ball Z. And that's going to take 172 years to finish.
Yeah. You got this. I will start. Hold me to it, Fenris. In January, remind me, and I'll start watching One Piece. Because that is on my list of things to do, and I just need somebody to kick me in the butt to make me do it. And I'll make Megan watch it with me, and we'll report back. So this next question comes in from Jeff. What is a better movie in terms of fun and visual style?
I was just smacking my fucking microphone around right there, so it's probably going to be a bunch of duka duka.
Durka. Laka laka durka street.
That's so racist.
I know, it's so fucking. What's a better movie in terms of fun and visual style? Speed Racer or Tron Legacy?
I never saw either of those movies, so I'm going to refer that question to you.
Man, I prefer. I prefer Tron Legacy over Speed Racer. But that's nothing against Speed Racer. When I think of Speed Racer, I think of the old anime that they used to play on Cartoon Network. Like I don't think of the movie. Whereas when I think of Tron, I don't think of the 80s movie Tron. I think of Tron Legacy, if that makes any sense at all.
Yeah.
So we got a who's the best killer? Michael Myers, Jason Voorhees, Freddy Krueger.
So I feel like Michael Myers and Jason Voorhees are very similar. I like Jason based on character design more than anything. I like the big, strong killer, you know. He's a fucking brick shit house.
He could put you up against the wall before he kills you.
Yeah. But I gotta give this to Freddy Krueger because not only does he kill you in interesting ways, he talks shit the whole time. And that's just great.
See, my answer to this is also Freddy Krueger, but it's because that he kills you in your sleep.
Yeah. I mean,
Like,
you can
there's nothing
avoid
you can do
Jason.
about it.
You just stay away from Camp Crystal Lake. You can avoid Michael Myers. You just stay away from that fucking town he's from. But, like, Freddy
You have
Krueger
to
kills
sleep.
you in your dreams. Yeah.
You have to sleep eventually.
And, like, but that scene in the Nightmare on Elm Street where, like, he pulls the chick through the bed and then just blood just like a geyser coming out of the bed is so fucking cool.
Was it a chick? I thought that was Johnny Depp that he did that to.
Might have been Johnny Depp.
I think that was Johnny Depp.
I mean, Johnny Depp's kind of a chick, so. And then the scene where she's in the tub falling asleep and you like see the claws come up between her legs, and then she like wakes up and he just pulls them back down. That's pretty fucking cool.
Also, did you ever confuse Michael Myers and Mike Myers like I did and picture the killer as Austin Powers?
No, I don't think Jeff's okay.
No, but I have made those jokes before because Mike Myers was in that movie called Honey, or no, I'm sorry, it was called So I Think I Married an Axe Murderer.
Yeah.
Which is a great movie. If
Yeah,
anybody
that's a
wants
pretty
to go
good
watch
movie.
it.
Yeah.
God damn, my throat fucking. I can tell we've been recording a while.
I'm feeling
What
that way, and I have a glass of water, but it's from last week, so I feel like there's a layer of dust on top of it, and I'm a little nervous to drink it.
Just when you go to look at it, just look for that little sheen at the top. You'll see, it's like, what anime are you currently watching, and any recommendations?
So I'm currently watching, as I said, I finished Jujutsu Kaisen, the show. I still have to watch the movie. I'll watch that soon. So I started Dragon Ball Z last night. That's going to take forever. As far as recommendations, I feel like we've recommended a lot before, but like Demon Slayer is one of my favorites. Jujutsu Kaisen is actually pretty good, I thought. The Devil is a Part-Timer is always one of my favorites. Death Note, always one of my favorites. Assassination Classroom's great. Didn't you talk about that show, that time I was reincarnated as a slime?
Yeah, so, what's the name of that show?
They have, like, might be Bam Presto, but they have, like, figures coming out for characters from that show. I saw it on like, a pre-order page from one of my vendors. They looked pretty cool.
Sorry, dude. I just stretched, and my hearing went away while I stretched. And I could not hear a fucking word you just said.
I said that show, the time I was reincarnated as a slime.
Yeah.
They have figures coming out for it. I saw them on like a pre-order page. The characters look pretty cool.
Oh yeah, dude. I haven't actually watched that show. It's on my watch list, but like
I
love the name of it.
You haven't watched shit on Crunchyroll in a while because it's just been all the shit that I've been watching on there.
Yeah, not in a while, dude. I need to get back into watching some anime because like I'm not watching any at the moment.
Yeah. You need to watch Jujutsu Kaisen. It's really good.
What was I watching? I finished Bofuri, and then I kind of didn't watch anything after that. I think I started Overlord.
Overlord's pretty good. I think you were watching. The last thing you were watching was I put all my stats into defense or whatever.
Yeah, that's Bofuri. I put all my stats in, or I don't want to get hurt, so I put all my stats into defense or something like that.
Something like that. Yeah.
Fucking fantastic anime. I recommend it. That was my last recommendation to Kana, and she really liked it. So I'm going to recommend again Food Wars, Shokugeki no Soma. It's tremendous. It's hilarious. It's well worth your time.
I will say the first season of the Netflix Castlevania anime is pretty good. It goes downhill after that, but that first season's really good.
Also, if you can source it, check out the Devil May Cry anime they did. I think it's just one season. It's fucking violent.
There's a Netflix anime, since a bunch of people listening to this are gamers, called High Score Girl. That's really good. It's about like video game players in the 90s Japan playing like Street Fighter 2. Pretty fucking good.
I think we talked about that last week. You said that she just comes in and just beats the shit out of everybody.
Yeah, she comes in and like uses the code to unlock what's his name, and then like beats the shit out of it. And they're like, oh my god, who is this girl? How does she know how to get this secret character? Blah blah blah. Yeah, it's pretty good.
How much anime do you think that you have watched in your lifetime? And that comes in from Fenris.
Not a ton. I've probably watched in its entirety less than 10 animes, most of which were like 1 or 2 season animes.
So since I've gotten older, it's diminished a lot. But when I was younger, I watched a lot of Toonami. So I saw a bunch of like DBZ, Bleach, Trinity Blood. That's another recommendation if you've never watched Trinity Blood.
I was going to say
Vampires versus the Catholic Church. It's good shit.
Space Dandy's really good. I was told it's very similar to Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah.
I think the exact words my ex angrily used was, it's just a Cowboy Bebop knockoff.
I think they're similar, but I don't think they're that similar.
No, she was just pissed because I loved Space Dandy, but she said I refused to watch Cowboy Bebop, but she put it on and I was playing on my phone while I was watching it, and she got pissed that I wasn't glued to the TV, turned it off, and stormed out of the room. So yeah. Then I started being like, you should watch Space Dandy, it's really funny. She was like, oh, this is a fucking knockoff of Cowboy Bebop. I was like, oh well, it's funny, I like it. Which, pissed her off even more.
Of course. Kana asked, I'm sure it will be brought up, but how entertaining has it been to watch Twitter implode? We already talked about that, Kana.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Fenris, who is your favorite anime hero and villain? So my favorite hero is Maple from Bofuri. She's the fucking best. She's tremendous. My favorite villain is Vegeta.
I'm going to probably say Vegeta. Although he does kind of become a hero.
Yeah.
But no, like my favorite hero is probably Inosuke from Demon Slayer. So he's just so fucking ridiculous. And then I would also say, as far as enemies go, the demon from the Demon Slayer movie was pretty entertaining to watch. That's another show that I would be gutted if it got canceled because it's so fucking good. I want to see so much more of it.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, dude, Vegeta's hard to beat. Vegeta's such a fucking good character.
He's a well-written character. Yeah.
And he's not even. It's almost hard to call him an enemy or villain because he came to do the job that Goku was supposed to do and didn't. And then Goku's like, I got to stop you from doing this.
Well, yeah, because he's trying to destroy the Earth and take it over so they can sell the planet. That's villain shit.
I guess so. Maybe
You're
Earth,
just a villain.
Maybe Earth needs to be taken over and sold. You see what we're doing with it, right?
I think it already has been taken over and sold.
Yeah, more or less.
There's another twisted line. I was talking about them earlier where he says, for all that we know, we could have just been sold by the government to aliens, for God only knows. In fact, that's the same line where he says that besides the good weed, what the fuck's in Afghanistan? Because it was around then.
Yeah.
So the last question comes in from Kana.
I feel like we're going to have differing answers to this.
Of course we're going to have differing answers for this, but I have a strong argument. Since I can't afford both, should I buy Pokemon Scarlet Violet or Persona 5 Royal on the Switch since it's on sale? Kana is leaning towards Pokemon Violet, and Pokemon games retain their value.
My answer is going to be Pokemon Scarlet or Violet. I feel like they're pretty interchangeable, but hear me out, because I know your answer is Persona 5. I think Persona 5 would be better purchased on a home console than on the Switch. I feel like it's not going to run as well on the Switch, whereas Pokemon is designed and built for the Switch. And as Kana said, it's going to hold its value. So you buy Pokemon, you beat Pokemon, and then you take it and trade it in, and you get a copy of Persona 5 while it's on an even better sale because that game's going to go down in price, whereas Pokemon is always going to be $60.
Okay. And my rebuttal would be Persona 5 Royal is what you should get. Because A, people have done nothing but rave about the port and how good it is. B, it's not glitchy. C, Kana, you love anime. It's got slice of life and Pokemon elements. You're just collecting demons instead of Pokemon. And Kana, D, and the most important, Persona 5 has waifus. And it has some waifus that I think you'll really like. So that's my take. And Persona 5 is going to give you more game. It's longer. It's got a better story. And I think that it would be a game that you would like to go back to and play every now and then. Whereas Pokemon, you kind of just play it until the next one comes out type.
But so I feel like if you buy Pokemon now and you play Pokemon for 6 or 8 months, beat it, fill up Pokedex, do whatever you want to do. In 6 or 8 months, when you go to trade that game in at GameStop, it's still going to be worth $30. Whereas if you buy Persona 5 now and you go to trade it in 6 or 8 months, it's going to be worth like $12.
But that's my point, is that Persona 5 is good enough not to trade in.
But I'm saying, if you buy Pokemon first, then you can buy Pokemon, beat it, trade it in, and still get a copy of Persona 5 for probably the value of the trade-in or less. And then you get to play both. Then you get to play both.
My vote is still Persona. I've
got Persona 5 Royal on my backlog, and I'm eventually going to play it. And I hope you know that if I don't like it, I'm going to come on this show and I'm going to ream your ass about how horrible it is.
But the thing is I don't expect you to like it. It's not your type of game. It's turn-based.
I'll try it. If I say it's just not for me, I'm not going to say it's bad. But yeah, I'm just going to give you shit if it's not good.
That's fine. I don't expect you to like it though. Just because I don't peg you a JRPG player. Though you've been liking Yakuza. I'm interested how you're going to feel about Like a Dragon.
Probably not going to like it as much because the combat of Yakuza is part of the reason why I like it so much. I feel like taking it into turn-based is just going to ruin it a little bit. But we'll see.
We shall see. And with that, sir, that was our final question. So that leads us to the house cleaning. So if you would like to send us an email, you can shoot us an email over at yetanotherbspod@gmail.com. You're going to find us on Facebook along with all our tumbleweeds. It's facebook.com/groups/yetanotherbspodcast. Shout out to the people who are active over on the group, Santos and James Hall. Twitter, you can find us at YabsPod. You can find him at Just Call Me Jezza. You can find me at Super Nerd Dalton. You want to check out the website, which is behind, and I'm sorry about that, but work has been kicking my ass. yabspod.wordpress.com. And if you'd like to support the show, patreon.com/yabspod. And if you donate $5 or more, you get the extra episodes. But if you donate just $1, you get a shout out at the end of every episode, like these wonderful people who donate at least $1 or more. Jeff, Kana, Megan, Ostara, and Team Retro. Y'all rock. And we appreciate each and every one of you who listen each and every week. And until next week, he's Jeremy. I'm Dalton. And as always, guys, take it easy.
See ya.